You're listening to KOUG Radio. Listen live online at KOUGradio.org.
This is Real Original with Aaric Rodgers, broadcasting live from the KOUG Radio room here on the beautiful Washington State University Vancouver campus. We're back for another episode. It feels like Christmas morning. Well, yesterday felt like Christmas morning. Today feels like Christmas morning. The next 2 days will feel like Christmas morning because we're excited. It's Masters Week. I mentioned this on Wednesday. If you're sleeping under a rock somewhere and you don't know that it's Masters Week, we're here. We're doing it. I got a screen playing featured groups on my laptop. I got a leaderboard from the Masters app on my phone. Excuse me. And I'm totally locked in to everything Masters. We got some drama. We got some action. I can't wait to talk about it. But first, well, we're going to have a little, we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to phone a friend a little bit later in the show. Somebody that's hopefully dialed into Masters drama and what's going on. Might talk a little baseball as well. We'll see how in-depth his analysis gets. An opinionist from the Daily Dad. Just one of my buddies. Something to spice up the show a little bit. Something to, so you guys don't just have to hear me for the whole hour. Actually have a conversation with somebody. But first, I said last week I was going to mention a few things. I wanted to talk a little baseball. I wanted to talk a little NBA. We got the playoffs, NBA playoffs starting here next week. And I don't know. Honestly, I'm not super excited about the NBA this year. Kind of the same old stories last couple of years, same old teams. You got Milwaukee, you got Boston, you got Philadelphia. Kind of your powerhouses in the East there. And then you got, you know, your Denver Nuggets, your Memphis Grizzlies, who I don't see them making too deep of a run. Golden State's going to be interesting. You know, they're sitting in that 5 spot. They got Andrew Wiggins coming back. Hopefully he can make a difference for them. Hopefully for them. I don't have a dog in the fight, really. Technically, I'm a Laker fan, but if I'm just being honest, ever since LeBron has been a Laker, I haven't been too keyed in on the team. He doesn't do it for me. He doesn't bring that killer instinct that I guess we all loved Kobe for. Rest in peace. And frankly, they're not that good. You know, they're sitting in the 7 spot. They gotta be in the play-in game. And I don't envision them making too deep of a run. You know, They're just not that exciting. AD's always hurt. LeBron's getting old. It's the same old story. You know, he's great. Yeah, absolutely. Great NBA player. One of the best all time. If you play long enough, you'll break some records. And, longevity speaks for something. He's had a pretty healthy career. He's been dominant most of his career, all of his career, actually, from year 1 to year 18 or whatever this is for him. Truly dominant player. I don't know if I would put him in my top 5, but I'm sure most other people would if you don't have him number 1 all time. So, did I mention I think I'm excited to go see Air? Just came out Wednesday or something. I think I'm gonna take the wife out on a little date night, go to the movies, see Air, the Michael Jordan Nike story. Ooh, nice little shot into the 15th for Brooks Koepka. Got an eagle putt coming up. We're gonna talk about this Masters. I'm excited. Anyways, NBA. Yeah. The Lakers can't even beat the Clippers. The Lakers have lost 11 in a row to little brother. And if you ask me, are the Clippers even little brother anymore? Only in fandom, only in name. Obviously, the Lakers have dominated the market for the whole history of the two teams. So, but I mean, when you lose 11 in a row dating back to the bubble, dating back to the pandemic when we were all wearing masks and staying at home. It's been how many years now? 11 in a row. You can't beat them one time. It's not even a rivalry anymore, So, yeah. The Lakers are finished. I don't see them getting out of the first round if they make it through the play-in. I think the Pelicans are better. I think okay. Maybe not the Jazz. Maybe not the Thunder. They could probably squeak by those two teams. I don't know that they can beat the Pelicans. I damn sure don't think they can beat a healthy Golden State Warrior team. You're not beating the Suns. You're not beating a healthy Suns team with Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. Anyways, I said I was going to talk about the MVP race in the NBA. Looks like it's pretty much locked up. Sounds like, and deservedly so. The guy's been dominant for last couple of years now. But the process. God, why am I forgetting names right now? Joel Embiid. It's early. I did have my I did have my magic mind. I just, needed to kick in, I guess. No. Yeah, I think Joel Embiid's going to win this year. The guy scored 50 the other night, about half the points of their total against a Boston team, who they were trying to get ahead of in the race for the number 2 seed. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like Boston's going to lock that up. But Joel Embiid is a dominant player. He's great. Usually people always say, oh, the MVP should go to the best player on the best team. Well, I don't always agree with that. I definitely think Kobe should have won MVP over Steve Nash. He basically took a team that probably wouldn't have won any games to a playoff spot. God, what is that? 2005. The fact that Kobe only won MVP still blows my mind. And Steve Nash has 2. I don't get it. Not for me to decide, though. Just an eye test. But yeah, I think Joel Embiid's got it locked up this year. So we'll see. I'm not excited about the NBA though. If I'm just being, I've watched a couple NBA games this year. Portland Trailblazers are out of it. They're trying, they are the 5th worst team in the NBA and getting worse. If they had more games, they'd probably drop even further. But they lost to San Antonio last night, who is not a good team. They said that game was played in Austin. I'm trying to think of what arena, unless they just played in the University of Texas arena. Anyways, I think Boston's the best team, if I'm just being honest. Boston or Milwaukee. But if the Suns stay healthy, which is a big if, at the end of the season, it's always Chris Paul getting some sort of quad injury or something that takes him out of the playoffs. And then they end up losing. A fully healthy Golden State team, I think, is a viable option. They are the defending champions. Can't count them out. So not thrilled about this year's NBA. Oh, Brooksy just coming up short for Eagle. Gonna have a tap in birdie here. Take it to 12 under. You know what I am excited about though? Baseball. Specifically Shohei Ohtani. Mariners just lost a series, a weekday series to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Let's see here. They lost a couple out of a couple. 2 out of 3. MVP is over. MVP race is over in Major League Baseball. It's already over. I was texting my buddy the other day. He said, you should do a segment that is called Jumping to Conclusions. He's not wrong. I am jumping to a conclusion. The all-star pitcher, all-star batter for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim is going to win the MVP. Shohei. It's over. Couple of home runs over the week. Couple quality starts to start off the season pitching. He's just got to not get hurt. And he's got it locked up. So we're still early on in the year, obviously. You know, it's already kind of shaping out to be what we think in the MLB race, though. You know, you got the Yankees up there, Tampa Bay's up there, still undefeated. The only difference is I think Houston and Seattle in the West are probably going to eventually pick it up and overlap. But the race is kind of already what we thought it would be. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a little break. We're going to try to get my buddy dialed up, have a little conversation with him about the Masters, see how dialed in he is. If I can get him on, we will talk. And I'll be right back.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Doing great. Just doing my little podcast here.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. I'm going to press record, and then we're just going to have a little conversation.
Awesome.
Okay, and we're back. As I mentioned, I got my buddy on the phone, and you don't have to pretend like you're, some influential sports analyst or anything. We're just going to have a little conversation here. Are you watching the Masters right now?
Yeah, I currently am watching. Brooks has got a par putt here on 16. He's got some work to do, but yeah, I'm sitting in my company vehicle. I'm sitting in my Tesla watching my Masters, and Brooks just rolled that in for par, so he's bogey free today.
He looks good, right?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, he looked great yesterday. Great. Today, he doesn't look as sharp. He's, 5 under on only the par fives today. So he has missed a handful of little birdie putts.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, he's bogey free, So yeah, no, it looks like it's his to win. I mean, he's really sharp.
Well, and it seems like if he could just make a putt, that he'd be absolutely running away with this thing. He should be 7 or 8 shots ahead of everybody else right now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If he could get to 14, I think he'll definitely be the leader in. But I mean, regardless, he's gonna be there coming into the weekend.
Yeah, I am excited to see it because I think it'll be very interesting. I'm interested to see the reactions of people if one of these live golfers wins the tournament. What do you think?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, that was the headlines coming in, right? I mean, those were definitely the headlines coming in. Like, what are these? Here come these jerks, right? These live guys who left the tour. But But that's just all headlines, and then we kicked off yesterday, and I mean, Brooks is a what 4-time major. DJ, he's got a bunch of majors. So these guys are still professionals. So to me, that's just all a bunch of crap. Let's get to the golf. But there are some other very interesting headlines I kind of wanted to touch on. Yeah, looks like Scotty's blowing up right here, right?
Seriously.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah, he's one of my fantasy golfers, and I didn't like what I just saw on this hole right here.
Well, so what I wanted to get into someone. I don't know if you're following this story or not, but we have to give it a look. So, one of the amateurs, every year the Masters invites a handful of amateurs. This year there's 7 amateurs with an invite. And have you seen the story of Sam Bennett?
I'm not too familiar. I mean, I know he's up there on the leaderboard. Last I checked, he was like 4 or 5 under. But tell me about him a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so.
Oh, there we go. Gets it to 6 right there with the birdie putt. Okay.
And he'll be solo, I think 6 under, so he'll be solo 5th right now. He's got 1 bogey for yesterday. He played bogey free 5 under. He won the 2022 U.S. Amateur Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he got his invite. The guy is just crushing it. He's 23 years old. His first time ever playing the Masters. Anyways, it's just a cool story. I like to see these young guys. Like to see these young guys, the young talent, show up at the Masters, and for it being his first time, it's just really impressive.
Yeah, I think it's always interesting when you have, a mix of you get a couple amateurs, a couple of young guys that show up on the leaderboard, and then sometimes you get a couple of the old guys too that show up on the leaderboard. Like yesterday, Freddie Couples shot a 1 under, and he's like, go ahead.
2 under in 18. Yeah, it's. Yeah.
No, I love it. It's like, he's not going to be there. Like, I love Freddie Couples, right? He's been around, and he's won some majors himself. But that, come Saturday and Sunday, he's probably going to tail off a little bit. But we're going to talk about him. He's going to be a couple under. He's going to be first or second page of the leaderboard. We're going to say, what if? Can he do it? Can he hold up? But then, inevitably they end up kind of tailing off at the end there. But I always love to see the old guys. I always love to see the young guys kind of just showing up on those leaderboards.
Yeah, that's what's so beautiful about the Masters tournament is because like for instance, Freddie, he's probably played this tournament 40 times, you know what I mean? So he knows this course.
Mm-hmm.
And then these young guys, like I was saying about Sam, it's his first time.
Yeah.
So it's just, it doesn't really get any better than this tournament. So, and then, I was just listening to, they were talking about Justin Rose, who's, he's here he is right here. He's 4 under. He's definitely up there in age, right? One of the older guys on tour now.
Yep.
They were talking about his travel arrangements for, how he gets from tournament to tournament. Have you heard this story?
No.
So he travels in RV, unlike some of the other younger guys who are just flying around in these private jets, right? So he travels in his RV. So awesome. I love that. But he has a second RV that follows him. It's called his recovery RV. So this RV is for after every round. He's got a sauna, a cold bath, a steam room, you name it. He goes in there and gets a massage after every round so he can recover his body. It's so funny.
Oh, golf, man. What a grueling sport that you need to have your own personalized RV with, saunas and spas. And, geez, why don't you put a face mask on as well,
Tell me you've had a long career without telling me you've had a long career.
Kind of similar but not similar to that is the Victor Hovland story, who as well, just drives from tournament to tournament. However, he just does it in his, little, I don't know what kind of vehicle he has now, but it's just a car that he drives from tournament to tournament. Blast. You know what I heard about Victor Hovland is that he's a heavy metal fan. He loves like Metallica.
The Norwegian, of course he does.
Yeah, exactly. I love Victor Hovland too. I hope that he can kind of maintain this little run that he's on and be there at the end of the tournament.
I couldn't agree more. He looked so good yesterday. He was just, he was putting the ball in the perfect location. He's definitely done his homework. I'm really rooting for him too. He's got all the talent.
Well, and I didn't know this, but apparently that was his first time playing with Tiger as well. So to be that locked in under those circumstances is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I would be a mess if I was playing with Tiger. So nervous. Actually, Tiger won it back in 19, right? That was his last, I think it was 2019 when he won most recently, right? Was that 2019?
It was 2019. I have the picture framed on one of my walls that actually you gave me.
That's right. Okay, I was hoping you remember that. Well, okay, so that was Victor's. That was his amateur year, and he shot the lowest of the amateurs, so he got to be. You know how they do the interview with the winner afterward in that office, that famous office, and so he was in there with Tiger. Yeah. I'll never forget that. And so, anyways, he's been around the block. I'm really rooting for him. I hope he can pull it off this week. He's 7 under. He didn't tee off till about 1. And you know what? I was seeing. So there's some weather coming in for the weekend, which doesn't look really good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know that the rain will kind of make conditions a little softer, but they said that there's going to be some heavy winds as well that will kind of shake things up a little bit. So I'm curious to see how everybody reacts to these conditions here. It looks like they've gotten pretty good weather, at least in the morning wave here. But I think, the afternoon wave and then the weekend is going to play much more difficult.
Yeah, definitely. And you golf. We know there's a certain rhythm to golf that these guys want to be in. Some guys want to play with a faster pace. Some guys want to just have, that monotone, that just real smooth day. So it just depends on the golfer. But when you get wind, when you get rain, and you get delays, it just throws everybody's rhythm off. So it really will be interesting. I think it's paramount for guys like Brooks and the guys at the top of the board to get their round in today and get as low as they can, because you just don't know what kind of conditions we're going to have over the weekend. So we'll see how that comes into play.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate to what's in these golfers' mindset because of how often I play good golf. A couple more things I want to bring up. Let's talk about Tiger. I know he had a little bit of a rough performance yesterday, a 2 over. Do you think he can go low today?
I was trying to find. So let's see. I was trying to find out when he tees off. I think he's a 1 o'clock guy too. The course seems to be playing a little bit tougher today. Let me back up. I saw a Tiger fist bump yesterday.
Yeah.
We all saw a Tiger fist pump yesterday, and if Tiger has the fist pump going,
anything
Thursday,
can happen.
He's gonna bring it on Friday. So I've got a lot of confidence in Tiger, but we just want to see Tiger play the weekend. So I think he can. The course seems to be playing tougher today than yesterday, so that's going to be a bit of a disadvantage for him. But he's played this course. He's won this course. I couldn't sit here and tell you no. I do have confidence in him. He just needs to shoot a 2-3 under. And if he takes Koepka's approach where he just attacks the par fives, he could get the 4 or 5 under today and be 2 or 3 under, going into the weekend and make the cut. So yeah, I do. I think he'll have a much better round today.
And tell me a little bit about, you know, there's a gentleman in the field who is kind of the leader of the PGA now, and he is one major away from completing the career Grand Slam. However, he can't seem to conquer this course. Tell me a little bit about Rory McIlroy and how you think he could fare. It seems like, there's this course just beats him. He'll have one day where he shoots like a 73 and it just takes him out of it. And then, on a Sunday, if he makes the cut, he'll shoot a 64, get a backdoor top 5. And, we'll be like, oh, well, he was close. But when in reality, he really wasn't that close because he was already out of it. He didn't have anything to play for, so he shoots a good round. Do you think Rory McIlroy can exercise those demons and maybe come back and make the weekend and have a good showing?
Man, being the experienced golfer that I am, there's courses you play that suit your eye. There's courses you play that they just don't shape the way your swing is. And I just don't know. Okay, Rory's one of those, he can drive the ball just as far or farther than anybody on tour. And this course really isn't set up for that. It's set up for, your next shot, your approach shot. These par threes, it's like trying to, you got to land it in the perfect spot. Otherwise, it rolls 30 feet away, and you got to come up and over a ridge to find the green. And I just don't think, Rory might be playing the best golf of his life right now, and he's 4 under today or 4 over today. So no, I just don't think this course sets up to hit any of his advantages. I just don't know if he will ever conquer Augusta. I just don't see it happening. Maybe later in his career, but yeah, with these guys going 13, 14 under, he's just not there. I just don't see it setting up to how he swings the club.
It seems like Rory McIlroy has been around for a long, long time. He's got some gray hairs now. He's a dad. But he's only 33 years old.
Is he really? I did not know that. That's a surprise to me. That is a very big surprise to me.
So, I feel like he's got a long way to go. He's got some years ahead of him. I agree. Like, I don't know that he'll ever be able to conquer this course. But I got to think that he can do it one time, in the next 17 years. If he can play till he's 50, right, which hopefully he'll be able to do, he's got to break through once.
Yeah, and I think we're right on there, because I was saying, maybe later in his career, it's got to be the right circumstances, which happens to a lot of golfers at Augusta. You'll get terrible golfers like Patrick Reed, who can win the Masters. I'm sorry, I'm not a
terrible golfer.
No, but I shouldn't say that. He is fantastic. He just rubs me the wrong way. But there are these golfers that break through and win this tournament sometimes. It's just just a big surprise. Then you'll get guys who will repeat win it a bunch, such as Tiger. But I think you're right. He's got a lot of years left. I didn't know he was 33 years old, and that is still prime of his career. So yeah, maybe the next 4 or 5 years he'll break through and get one. But he really needs to start his round. I mean, he started even yesterday, and he's 4 over today. He really needs to. I don't know what it is, but he needs to. He needs to do better on these early rounds to give him a chance, because these guys run away with it. I mean, they just run away with it. I mean, Rahm hasn't even teed off, and he's 7 over. So,
yeah, talk a little about Jon Rahm and just the resolve that he has after going out there on the first hole, four putting for a double bogey and then going 9 under the rest of the way. I mean, that's pretty incredible, especially at Augusta.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Slurf, you've been there. I've been there. I've four putted, and the rest of my round is absolutely terrible. I can't get that one hole out of my mind. Right, I'm thinking about it all day. He forgot about that as soon as he walked to the next hole. You know, that's how he wins tournaments. He's on to the next shot. He stays locked in. And my God, if he hadn't have had that, he would have shot the course record. You know, he would have shot a 63.
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible golf. He's got the mental stability to just forget about the last shot, forget about the last hole, and move forward. And jeez, watch out for him. Watch out for him. He can do it. He can win this tournament. He needs this tournament.
Yeah, you know, I would love to see at the end of this tournament if it was, you know, a live guy like Brooks Koepka versus the leader of the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy. It doesn't look like we're going to get that, but I think the next best, you know, rivalry here could be Koepka against Rahm. You know, like what if we have a Koepka versus Rahm final pairing on Sunday? I think the ratings will go through the roof. I think we'll have so much to talk about, and I can't wait to see how the rest of this tournament's going to play out. I don't have another show until Wednesday, so the tournament's going to be over by then. Maybe I'll have you on and we can talk about the results, but give me a little prediction here. Who do you think is going to take this thing? And, you know, what kind of, you know, who do you think is going to kind of be in that top 5?
Yeah. Great question. I'm gonna throw you a bit of a curveball here. I'm gonna give you somebody who's been on my radar. He's on my fantasy league, and he's won this tournament a few times, and he's lost this tournament a few times. Jordan Spieth, watch out. He's 5 under. He's definitely within striking distance. He knows this tournament better than anybody. I mean, he's got the green jackets to prove it. And I just really think that would be a smart pick for me, just because he know, like I'm saying, he's won this tournament before. He's got confidence there, and he's within striking distance. Now, you know, he's a PGA Tour guy, you know, and if it was him versus Brooks, you know, I think that would be just as big a headlines. I mean,
yeah.
you watch Full Swing. They're both on Full Swing, the Netflix series, and
yep.
You know, they both got personalities. They're both, you know, I mean, they're both, you know, top 10 golfers right now. So I'm really looking for Jordan to break through. But it could be a number of guys, you know, and I mean, it could be guys not up in the top 10. I mean, Schauffele looked great yesterday, you know, and he was also playing with Tiger, you know. So, and Morikawa's tearing it up right now too. He's 5 under. So, we'll see. I'm excited. I'll definitely be excited to talk to you about the results come next week.
Did you just name all the guys on your fantasy team? Is that what you did?
I'm glad you're following my fantasy.
So I gave you my little fantasy lineup. I seem to be doing pretty okay right now, although Rory is kind of ruining my day. But yeah, I picked Brooksy. I picked Scheffler, who needs to make some putts as well. He's killing me on those, you know, 8 to 10 footers right now. I picked Tommy, who I don't have you. What's that?
Brooks and Scheffler, way to go out on a limb.
I know, right? Well, hey, it's all about winning. Okay, I pick winners. Have you seen Tommy Fleetwood's score? I don't have the ability to look it up right now, but do you know where Tommy's at?
Well, geez, Slurf, let me go down this list. No, he's 1 under. He's 1 under.
Okay.
He shot even yesterday, and he birdied the par 5 second, and he's just wrapping up the front 9. He's on 9 right now, and yeah, he's still 1 under. So I mean, we know Tommy. He's he's gonna shoot a couple of evens, and then he's gonna shoot a 64, and then he's gonna end Sunday with a 74. So
Yeah.
it's hard to have too much confidence in one of our favorite golfers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wish, we used to be the long hair boys together. Fortunately, I got a haircut, so we're not twinning anymore. But Tommy is one of my favorite golfers, one of the real good guys on the tour, actually. And I really wish, hopefully, that he can break through one of these years and win not just a major, but just a PGA tournament. He's got a bunch of wins overseas on the European tour, and I would just love to see that guy, get in the winner's circle on the PGA tour.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know what it is with him. It's so hard to understand because you watch him swing, you watch him play. He has all the mechanics to be a number one golfer. He just doesn't finish tournaments. I think there's a handful of guys on tour, and we can get into this on another time because there's a lot we could talk about here. But there's a number of guys on tour who just, I don't know what it is. They don't have. Maybe it's that Tiger has. They say he has that killer instinct where he's just he steps on the gas, he closes tournaments out, he stays aggressive. A lot of those guys like Tommy, they're good, but they just don't have that killer instinct where I'm going to win this tournament or that confidence to just go and take it. I don't know if he has that or possesses that. That's the only thing I can really lean on as far as what I see. Why I don't know, why he doesn't win more. But
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to put a finger on it.
So one of the guys that's in my regular fantasy league, not my Masters fantasy league, guy's had a pretty good season, hasn't broken through yet, but honestly is having a resurgence. What do you think about Jason Day?
Yeah, surprisingly, he is up there.
Yeah.
9 under.
Yeah.
5 under yesterday. So he's going to be right there. And I'll be completely honest with you. He is catching me way off guard. I've got no research on him. I haven't seen him in any other recent tournaments that, gave me any reason to do research on him. But I think that's just Augusta for you. He's been here. He's been on tour. He has a few wins. He's got everything you can, what it takes to win. And yeah, he's going to be right there. I mean, he's 9 under with 5 to go. If he can get to 10 under and just get in the clubhouse, he's going to be in the top. He'll be there. So it's good to see him. It's good to see him playing well.
Yeah, I'm excited. He's dealt with a few injuries over the years, and he kind of tailed off a little bit, but he's having a good season. Like I said, he's on my regular fantasy team, so I need to have him continue to do well, continue to get those top 5s. I'm a big Jason Day fan, and yeah, I hope he continues to have a good season here.
Great guy.
Okay, so I don't think you told. So give me one name, like in the winner's circle. Who's getting the green jacket this year? Be absolutely, confident in your answer. Give me one name. Who's taking it? You said, well, okay, sorry. So you think Jordan Spieth is the guy, or do you think he's like a possible guy, top 5 guy? Like, is he putting on the green jacket this year, Jordan Spieth, or who's it going to be?
All right. All right. Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I have a lot of confidence in Jordan, and he's within striking distance. But if I had to just right now blindly just say from what I've seen so far, man, I'm gonna say Rahm. Rahm's gonna win it this year. That's my pick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You got Rahm. I got Brooksy. It hurts my heart because, my wife loves Brooke Koepka. Brooks Koepka. And I get it. He's a handsome fellow. He's got great teeth. He's got a great upper body. I wish I had the guns that guy does. But he just looks too dialed in right now. I mean, if he can start dropping some putts, he's going to run away with this thing. So that's my winner. That's who I think's putting on the green jacket this year. And yeah, what a tournament! What a tournament it's been so far. We got the Big Cat going on first tee right now. So yeah. I'm gonna keep you on here just for a second so we can see his drive. I'm gonna say that if Tiger puts this one in the fairway, that he's gonna shoot a 69 today.
A 69. So that would be 3 under. So that would put him 1 under on the. He's 2 over. Yeah. That'd put him 1 under.
That would put him 1 under. This first hole has kind of given him fits over the years. So let's see. He's kind of leaning. And okay. He's in the fairway. He's going to shoot a 69.
Nope, I'm a second behind you. Okay, so he's a little over there to the left. Yeah, no, he's fine over there. That's a good spot. All right, 69. Let's call it. I love that. You know, get him in. We definitely want to see him play the weekend, right?
Absolutely. He's got
Yeah.
and you know, he's been talking this could be. Do you think it's his last Masters?
No.
I don't either.
No. Tiger's gonna win 1 more Masters. That's how many more he's got.
Okay. I like it. You know, this is a very hilly course. A lot of undulations on this course. Tough to walk.
Yeah. You know, if I could back up just a minute, I know we're running out of time or whatnot, but you were you know, just gawking over your guy Brooksy for your wife, I'm sure.
Yes.
But did you see the almost the issues he and his caddy had yesterday?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm really glad you brought that up actually.
Oh, sorry. Sam Bennett almost just chipped in. This guy, I'm telling you, watch out for Sam Bennett. I'm really liking what I see from Sam Bennett. Yeah, but okay, so sorry. How about Brooks's caddy?
Yeah, so tell me, what was that about? So from what I understand, I don't know if Brooks's caddy said something or it was Gary Woodland or somebody had some communication between each other, apparently, that you're not supposed to talk about. Can you put into more detail some of that for me?
Okay, yeah, let me run you through it real quick. If you haven't heard, you haven't seen it, they were on the par 5 15th, right? So really tough hole. You got a tiny green to land it in. Gary outdrove Brooks, and Brooks was up first. Brooks hits a gorgeous 5-iron in, lands it on the green, and Gary was talking to his caddy after he watched that shot, and he was saying to his caddy, he said, "Did you see what club he had?" And Brooks's caddy overheard that and yelled, because they were a good, 30, 40 yards away from each other. He yelled, 5-iron, 5. And they got camera video of him yelling, 5, 5. And so according to the rules, you are not allowed to help another player in any way, and letting another player know the club you used is an illegal offense. So if Gary were to have asked, "Hey, what club did you use?" and the caddy said, and Brooks's caddy said 5-iron, that would have been a penalty to both players. Now, the rules committee looked at the video evidence. They asked the players what happened. Both of them completely denied it. And I in this case, I'll stop right there and say I completely agree. I don't think anybody is doing anything wrong there. I did see the caddy yell 5-5, but I think, Gary, you and I watched Gary win the AT&T back at Pebble years ago. Gary's a great guy, and I know he's good friends with Brooks. So I don't think there's anything wrong going on there, but they do need to be careful moving forward. I'm sure the rules committee is going to be watching this type of instance a lot closer. Anyway, it's just an interesting altercation that didn't amount to anything. A rule that I didn't really know existed, haven't seen it cracked down on before, but interesting.
So do you think that, and we are kind of running out of time here, do you think it's a big deal because Brooks is a live player? Now, I heard Brandel Chambly going on and on about this because he hates all the live guys, but like, from what I understand, this is what golfers do, and it's like, you know, they'll yell to the broadcasters that are on the course, walking the course with the golfers, so the broadcasters can tell us, the listeners or the viewers, you know, what's going on. But I mean, if Brooks is not a live guy, do you think this is a big deal?
Well, I'm going to quote one of my all-time favorite golfers, which is going to be highly controversial here. Earlier this week, on Wednesday, Sergio Garcia was in the media room, and they were asking him all kinds of questions back and forth about, you know, stuff like this, and his response was, "Stop it." So I'm going to tell you, Eric, stop it, because let's not do that. Let's not do that. If we can coexist where we got live golfers playing with PGA golfers in tournaments like this, love it. I love it. We don't need, you know, more drama, or, you know, we don't need it. I'm just happy we got both, you know, because I mean, what would the tournament be right now without Brooks up there? You know, if they said no, you couldn't come because you're a live guy. So let's just, you know, you know, enjoy that these guys are here.
Okay, all right, I'm with you. I'm putting it to bed. Fair enough. All right, bud. Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you coming on the show with me today. It's definitely made the show a lot more interesting. You know, I've been doing this thing solo for the last 3 episodes, so it's nice to mix it up a little bit and have somebody come on with me and actually have a conversation instead of me just talking the whole hour.
Well, hey, thanks for having me. I love your show so far. Your first few episodes have been just, you know, a lot of fun to listen to. Have me on anytime, man. I really appreciate it. Let's talk some baseball next time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll jump to more conclusions about baseball in the next week or so, because, you know, like I said, Ohtani's taking the MVP, so it's over.
It's over. It's over.
All right, brother. Good talking to you. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right. Have a babe.
Take care. All right. Yeah. That was my buddy, Wes. I don't know if I even introduced him at the top of the conversation there, but that's my buddy, Wes. He said my last name a couple of times, which I should have warned him ahead of time not to do. He also short sold us on that Gary Woodland victory. That was the U.S. Open in 2019 that Gary Woodland won, not just the AT&T. And that was his birthday weekend. He should have known that was the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, not the AT&T. I mean, that's a big difference there. So I'm gonna have to have a conversation with him about that a little later on. Anyways, that's my time. I've actually gone a little bit over here. And so I'll be back on next Wednesday, 9 a.m. We'll recap everything that went on in the Masters. We'll talk about what's going on in the NBA playoffs. The NFL draft's coming up, so we might have a few things to say about that. But I've enjoyed my time here so far today. Hopefully I can have some more guests on in the future. Until then, I'm signing off. Thank you for joining me. You guys take care.